On the evening of September 9th, 2010, the quiet, suburban city of San Bruno was settling into what seemed like an ordinary night. The sun had just disappeared beyond the hills, leaving the sky dim and calm. Streetlights flickered on across peaceful neighborhoods. Families gathered inside their homes. Dinner tables were set. Children finished homework while televisions played softly in the background. It was the kind of evening that felt safe, predictable, peaceful, and completely normal. But beneath the streets of this quiet community, hidden deep underground, danger had been building for decades. A massive 30-inch natural gas pipeline lay buried beneath the neighborhood. Installed in 1956, the pipeline had been carrying highly pressurized natural gas for more than 50 years. Day after day, year after year, gas rushed through the aging metal pipe at enormous pressure. Over time, the steel began to weaken. Tiny defects formed deep inside the pipe, cracks too small to see, welds that were not strong enough, weaknesses slowly growing with every passing year. No one above ground knew the danger that was silently growing beneath their feet. Then at exactly 6:11 p.m., everything changed. Residents suddenly heard a strange sound, a deep rumble rising from beneath the earth. Some later described it as the sound of distant thunder. Others said it felt like a train racing underground.
What's
The
happening?
rumbling grew louder, and then, without warning, the pipeline failed. A deafening explosion ripped through the neighborhood with terrifying force. The blast shook homes violently, like a powerful earthquake. Windows shattered instantly. Walls cracked. Roofs lifted into the air as the pressure wave tore through nearby houses. Within seconds, a massive fireball erupted into the sky. Flames shot hundreds of feet into the air, lighting the entire neighborhood with a blinding orange glow. The explosion was so powerful that people miles away could see the sky suddenly turn bright. Many residents believed an airplane had crashed into the neighborhood. Others thought it was a massive earthquake. But the truth was even more terrifying. A section of natural gas pipeline operated by Pacific Gas and Electric Company had ruptured beneath the street, releasing enormous amounts of gas into the air. Moments later, that gas ignited. The escaping fuel fed the fire like a giant torch. Flames roared across the neighborhood with unstoppable intensity. Trees burst into flames. Cars caught fire. Entire houses were swallowed by the blaze within minutes. People ran into the streets in panic. Some were barefoot. Some carried children in their arms. Others shouted desperately, calling the names of family members who were still inside burning homes. Neighbors banged on doors, screaming warnings to anyone who had not yet escaped. "Get out! Run!" Sirens began echoing across the city as emergency calls flooded 911 lines. Dispatchers struggled to keep up with the overwhelming number of calls pouring in from terrified residents. Firefighters rushed toward the scene, but what they encountered was beyond anything they had expected. A massive crater had formed where the pipeline exploded, nearly 72 feet long and more than 25 feet wide. Entire homes had been erased, reduced to burning rubble. Flames shot high into the night sky, creating a wall of fire that could be seen from miles away. The heat was unbearable. Firefighters described it as standing near a giant furnace. Even approaching the flames was dangerous. Yet they moved forward, dragging hoses through smoke and debris, determined to rescue anyone still trapped. Water sprayed continuously onto burning structures, but the fire refused to die. The ruptured pipeline continued feeding gas into the flames, turning the disaster into a raging firestorm that burned out of control for hours. Families watched helplessly as their homes, and everything inside them, disappeared in flames. Photographs, memories, entire lifetimes of belongings, gone within minutes. Finally, after desperate efforts, utility crews managed to shut off the flow of gas feeding the inferno. Slowly, the flames began to weaken. But by then, the destruction was already catastrophic. 8 people had lost their lives. Dozens more were injured, many suffering burns, broken bones, and severe trauma. More than 38 homes were completely destroyed, and over 70 additional homes were badly damaged. Entire streets were left unrecognizable, transformed into blackened ruins. In the days that followed, investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board arrived to determine what had caused the disaster. What they discovered was deeply alarming. The pipeline that exploded had been dangerously flawed for decades, weakened by defective welds, poor construction, and incomplete safety testing. Investigators later concluded that the disaster was not just an accident, it was a failure, years in the making, a tragedy that might have been prevented. Today, the San Bruno Pipeline Explosion remains one of the most devastating pipeline disasters in California history. If you found this story informative, please support the channel by liking this video and subscribing for more real-life disaster documentaries.